Let's chat.
Welcome to Between Each Sip. Welcome back to our episode 3.
Episode 3.
This will be episode number 3.
Time flies, doesn't
Yes.
it? I hope you're enjoying what we have to offer.
Yeah, and I think today's topic, touching on to what we talked about last episode,
Yeah.
was what would you do in 2023
Yeah.
if somebody threw you $10,000
Yeah.
and if somebody threw you $100,000. So 10,000 and 100,000. And the reason why we're bringing up this topic is because a lot of my friends or families have asked, "Hey, Ian, I got an extra $10,000 here. What should I do? What can I invest in? What should I spend it on? Should I buy this car? Is it worth it?"
Yeah.
Right? On your side, should I buy this
A lot
watch?
of
I
watches.
asked you that question,
Yeah.
right? Last year. So that's kind of our topic. What would you do with $10,000 if let's say someone just gave you $10,000 free
Mhm.
money
Mhm.
and you have to spend it?
Mhm.
What would you do? Somebody threw
And-
you
and-
$100,000
Yes.
for free money
Yeah.
and they're forcing you to spend it. How would you spend it? And it could be anything you like.
Yeah.
You want to spend it on somebody else? By all means. You want to donate it? By all means.
Exactly.
What will we do with it?
What will we do with it is
Yeah.
kind of what this episode is about.
Correct.
Two different perspectives.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to start out first?
All right.
Let's both start with 10,000 first.
Oh, yes. Let's do 10,000,
Yeah,
and then we'll do the
100,000.
100,000 because 100,000 is a lot of money,
That's a decent amount.
right? 100,000
Yeah.
it's a good chunk of money. I could do a
Yeah.
lot with 100,000,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
But 10,000 is not a lot of money, but it's significant to a lot of people, I would say, because one of the biggest questions I get all the time, as I mentioned earlier, is people ask, "Hey, Ian, I got $10,000. What should I do?
Mhm.
Can I, what can I invest in?" It's really all down to you. What I say is your comfort zone,
Okay.
right? I always ask, my first question I ask back is, what's your debt like,
Mhm.
right? If somebody give you $10,000 free money, pay off your debt first. That's your biggest investment,
Mhm.
right? Pay off your debt, because if you have credit card debt, if you have line of credit, and guys, interest rates gone up. We all know that.
Yeah.
Line of credits are no longer at 3-4%. Let's be real. If you still have a line of credit at 3 or 4%, please message me on the comments below because I want it. Okay? But line of credits are now north of 10% now, and pay that off,
Mhm.
right? So if somebody gave you $10,000 free money, my first question to you is, do you have debt?
Right.
If you have debt, pay that off, because automatically you're already putting between 10 to 30% of interest back into your own pockets.
Mhm.
And that's really, you're investing in yourself, right?
Yeah.
I owe
Yeah.
$10,000 to a credit card, for example. They're charging me 29%.
Yeah.
I just pay that off. I'm just putting $3,000 in my pocket on an annual basis. No one's going to pay you more than that.
That's a decent chunk of money. Yeah. There's
Right?
there's no return on investment 30% on $10,000.
No.
That's
Unheard of.
Yeah.
There is, though. I have one more trick.
okay.
I do have one more trick up my sleeve
Go on.
that gets you close to that 30% return
Okay.
that first year if you have no debt. So let's say you're the type of person that saved up 10,000, or somebody gave you free $10,000 because you have no debt. The next best thing to do is, what's the average Canadian income now?
I think it's like,
And what are we at now?
was it like 30 or 40 something?
Well, that was like, no. I think it's much higher now.
Is it really?
I think last I heard it was 55,000. I mean,
You're kidding.
what's hourly wage now? It's 15.50
Yeah.
here in Canada.
Yeah,
So in Canada, depending on province, but Ontario is
Ontario.
15.50,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
$15.50. And I think the average individual annual income now in Canada, I think it's around 55, maybe a little higher. We could be,
Really?
it could be higher. It's
I could
definitely
look
gone
this
up. I
up.
mean, while you're looking it up,
Yeah.
what that means is, the reason why I ask is, if you're making 55,000, 60,000 a year, you're in that tax bracket of 25 to 30%, which depending on which province you live in. And 25 to 30% taxes you pay on $60,000 is a lot of money, right? That's what, 60,000, 30%, you're looking at $18,000 income tax you're paying. If you have $10,000 today, why not put that $10,000 in an RRSP, forcing yourself to save that $10,000, put it into a mutual fund, GIC, whatever that you're comfortable with and what your comfort zone is. You want to invest in stock using RSP, by all means, go ahead. But, make sure you're comfortable with the fluctuation of your investment on 10,000. But the best part about investing in an RSP, if you have the room to contribute, is you're instantly going to get back 30%. That's the other way because you have no debt, so you don't have to pay off any debt. But you want to get 30% back immediately. Put 10,000 against your RSP for that year.
Yeah.
You're going to get a check back for $3,000, plus or minus maybe a couple $100 here and there. But let's say 3,000, depending which province you're in. Take that $3,000 and put it right back into an RRSP for next year's contribution. You're going to get another small chunk back.
Yeah. And you
Guys,
keep
and
adding
just keep
it up,
doing
keep
that.
doing it. Yeah.
Put that into a RSP account for the next 25 years. You're going to walk away with that $13,000. You originally got 10 plus that 3, plus if you keep putting that 3,000 back in, you're going to have another credit again year after and year after, and just keep putting that back. It gets smaller and smaller. But man, that account's going to sit at 60, 70 grand in 25 years, 30 years, maybe even more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who doesn't want 60, 70 grand when they retire?
Exactly.
I mean, then take that money and go spend it on something frugalous. Like go buy a car, go on a crazy vacation.
Have a midlife crisis.
Correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my advice. I mean, $10,000 it's a good chunk of money. It's not a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But
in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, right? If somebody says, "Hey, Ian, here's $10,000," yes, they can invest in me and in my company, and I can promise them a 10% to 12% return.
Yeah.
But first thing I always ask: debt. So, lesson is pay off your debt if you have any, because that costs you the most amount of money. That's instant return. You're just putting money back in your own pockets.
Yeah.
Look at your RRSPs if you haven't already done so. If you have done RRSPs, then my other advice is, if you want to invest it into stocks or mutual funds, then put it in a TFSA if you haven't used all that up yet.
Yeah.
And that's what I would. That would be my suggestion if I had $10,000.
What do you think about putting into stocks?
Stocks? I'm not. I have stocks.
Yeah.
I'm not a expert at it at all.
Right.
It takes a lot of time. I tried to do it once, and you really need to
devote your time of the news cycle.
Yes, like you got to devote.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways of doing it, and I don't know. If I'm not doing it full time and I'm so focused on my other businesses, I just can't dedicate. Yeah. Now I strictly buy blue chip stocks.
Okay.
So
stuff that pays pretty stable.
Yeah, that pays a dividend.
Yeah.
Right. Stocks like that I buy, and there's fluctuation, but history has always shown they have a upward
trend.
Growth.
Yeah.
So those are the only stocks that I really get into.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon, a friend of mine says, "Man, you got to buy this. This stock is going to be good." And I'm in the car business, right? So I bought into Rivian.
Oh, okay.
Right, I bought Rivian.
Yeah.
Man, they took a dive. Frick. Right? So,
yeah.
And I'll be honest, I put $10,000 to it.
Yeah.
Right? I spent $10,000 in Rivian.
Yeah.
Right? And, I thought I did it. It's my own comfort zone.
Yeah.
If I make money, awesome. If I lose money, hey, that's okay. That's 10 grand. So I bought into Rivian. Right? And unfortunately, we all check now. Rivian is shit. So hopefully they'll come back. I always buy everything. If I'm buying a stock, I buy everything for the long haul.
Yeah.
I never buy and sell.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a day trader.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think if you're looking to make money on stocks quicker, you have to day trade. Right?
You're just day trade. Like if you're looking,
there's really no other way.
But that's your full time job.
Right. Exactly. At that point, you really have to be on it.
Every day.
Hourly.
Like wake up in the morning when the bell rings. You're on the stock
even
market
before, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
I think the question stocks. If you're not an expert, buy mutual funds. Let the professionals do it. Yes, they charge you a fee. Yes, all people who are watching is like, they charge a huge fee. Of course they do, but they are experts. They'll manage your money better than anybody else will, and they give a better return than putting it in a guaranteed fund. Right. So in the end, it sucks. You can say, "Oh, I could do the same and make money," but it's a full-time job. Like that's their full-time job, right? Mm-hmm. So that's my input on if I had $10,000.
$10,000.
What about you?
Well, I think it really depends on a few things, right? Like it depends on where the person is, whoever is listening and actually thinking about this. Like it depends on where you are in your life, right? So if you're in a place, so you just kind of started at you kind of hit both, right? Where it's like if you have debt and if you don't have debt, I'm just gonna hit that point where what if I'm in a comfortable spot in my life, right?
No debt.
No debt. I'm
Already did RRSPs.
that, and I'm making money. I have a job. I don't want to start
And
a
somebody give you
business.
free 10 grand.
And I
Yeah,
just all of a
okay.
sudden came up with 10 grand, right?
Okay.
Found it in my couch.
Yeah. Tooth fairy came early.
Tooth fairy came
Okay.
early.
What would you do?
That's a lot of teeth, man. All your family's teeth came in.
Yeah.
What would you do, right?
Yeah.
So $10,000, I think, there's a few things, right? If
Because 10,000 is not a lot. Like
You know what?
I like expensive stuff, and
Well,
I'll say that on camera. I like
yeah.
expensive stuff. Well, so I'm curious.
yeah,
If you had 10,000, what would you buy?
honestly, in the grand scheme of things, even in terms of watches, 10,000, like you can get a decent amount of watches in $10,000, right? You get a good solid choice.
Well, let's use an example. My
The-
last
the-
watch I
the
just
moon
bought,
watch.
the moon watch.
Yeah.
My Omega that I showed on
Yeah,
the last episode.
but you're
That was a little bit less than 10. Well, actually, no,
but
that's 10,000 now.
Hang on, yes, exactly. So you got a special deal
Yes.
because we're friends with people. Essentially, what happened was our local Omega store.
In Rito Center.
In
Shout
Rito.
out to them.
Yeah, they Monaco Jewelers. They got 2 Omega 1861 movement watches. So those who know, the new Omegas have a new movement. The new the Moon Watch has a new, not the Moon Watch. No, wait, that's another topic. But yeah, the new Moon Watches have a new movement. So Omega's technically not allowing dealers to sell the old watch anymore, the old version.
Okay.
But then they mistakenly sent Monaco Jewelers 2 old versions
Correct. And I got
with
a
the
call.
big moon, like the shoebox kit and
I have to
everything.
bring that in and show it to them.
Yeah,
That's a pretty cool case.
That's a pretty cool kit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't get that anymore on the
Correct.
new one.
Yes.
So they
I
raised
heard it.
the money.
They told us that. Yeah.
Yeah, they raised the price of
Yeah.
the watch to, I think Canadian. Now it's $8,900.
Yeah.
$8,900 plus tax. That's over 10 grand.
Yeah.
So we're talking 10 grand. What would you buy? You can't buy a moon watch anymore in Canada for 10 grand.
No.
You have to throw it down a little bit
With
more.
taxes and everything, you're over 10 grand.
You're over 10
You're
grand.
over
yeah.
10 grand.
But the previous one you still could. So
Yeah.
you got lucky there. Yeah, so like you were saying, in terms of like luxury goods,
Yeah.
there's really not that much you can get. You can get like there's entry level and kind of, you can dip your toes in there.
Yeah.
But so I think if it was me, I would recommend you, and you're in this position that we described,
The
comfortable.
perfect position.
The perfect position.
Yes. Financially stable.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we just went through a pandemic. Everyone stayed home.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would grab one of your family members, one of your best friends,
Mhm.
treat them to a trip. 2 of you, 10 grand is more than enough
Okay.
for a very
All
good
right.
trip.
Okay. Let me ask. Where would you go?
Where would I go?
Where would you take me?
Oh, where would I take you? Honestly, probably McDonald's down the road. No, I think
I'm a cheap date.
No, I think if it was you, right? If it was us two,
Yeah. Let's say you said
let's
take
do it.
your friend,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
All right. We got 10,000. You can't go over a penny more.
right.
Where are we going?
I
So I
think
want to see if you're accurate.
okay, all right.
Where
Well,
we
I
going?
think flight tickets to, let's say Japan.
Japan.
Flight?
It's $4 grand.
No, it's not.
Economy.
No, it's not.
More or less.
Less. $1,200.
Brother.
$1,200.
Okay. I'm leaving on a trip to Taiwan
Yep.
Monday.
Yeah.
And I do not believe
Okay.
it is
So
1,200.
so hang on. You're leaving now though, before Chinese New Year. I'm looking at tickets in.
Bro, we just okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm
You're
looking at
shopping
tickets a
for the
little later.
cheapest.
Yeah.
He's cheating.
I'm cheating a little bit.
All right. Okay, so 1,200.
You can $1,200. You can get a round way ticket
for sure. Then I agree.
18 hour.
Yeah, 1,200 to 1,500. Yes.
Yeah, 18-hour overall trip, which
Yep.
is really good.
Yeah.
Including all the layover and shit.
Yeah.
It's really good. So go to Japan.
There you go. Okay.
Go to
I like
Japan,
Japan.
and I've never been.
I love Japan.
I've always
I only
wanted
went once.
to. Okay, yeah. There's crazy, and then we should go watch hunting in Japan. That would be fun.
Ooh.
There's a lot of vintage stores that sell watches that are kind of hard to find anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to go and watch hunt in Japan, and then
Wow.
pick up a couple of things, try them on, experience it, and then flip it when we come back.
Well, that's a good plan.
Yeah. because then you
But that's
get
a separate budget of the 7, where else we just blew
Well,
our 7.
no.
We have to keep it within 7.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll keep it in the 7 because
Are we
you
staying at a motel?
come on, man. Can't stay at a motel. No, I think it'd be cool to whenever I think when I'm traveling, I like to experience
Yep.
things
Yep.
the local way. So I think I would prefer an Airbnb
No.
rather than a hotel.
What's Japan famous for?
Oh, the little
They're-
tiny things.
They're like what do they call boxes? Like
Yeah, like the
sleeping box or not sleeping box? They don't call them sleeping box.
is this,
Something
Why do I
hotel.
think suitcase?
Yeah,
is it a
or-
suitcase?
I don't
hotel or
know, but
something?
it's some kind of like a box hotel or something.
Yeah, like
where
you just get a bunk essentially.
you get a bunk, and then all these different people are sleeping in these different
Yeah, like pods.
pods. There you
Oh,
go,
is it?
pod hotels or
Pod
something
hotels.
like that.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
they sleep in these different pods.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that.
I don't know if I. Okay, we'll do it for one day.
A couple days.
Couple
Well, they're
days.
cheap, but I heard they're like super clean.
Yeah, that I've no doubt is clean.
And we'll go to the like good ones and clean ones.
Okay.
Right.
I'm down to try it.
Yeah. The time when I went to Japan with my wife 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and we stayed at the Ritz in Kyoto.
Ooh, fancy.
That was nice.
That's great, eh?
The hotel room was super nice. I walked in.
How was the?
We opened the hotel just smells amazing.
Okay.
I don't know what they put in it, but it smells amazing in Kyoto. That Ritz
Okay.
hotel, and we were going to our room, and you open the door to the room, all the blinds go up automatically.
Wow.
It's like sensor.
It's
with
all
the door.
linked.
It's all linked,
Yeah.
and just everything inside was just beautiful.
What about?
But that cost about. I had gone up, and I was on a business trip, so the business I paid for it, but I was curious how much it was per night,
Yeah.
so I went up to go ask,
Yeah.
just in case I wanted to bring my wife back there
Yeah.
another day. It was $2,000 a night. We could stay there for 2 nights before we blow our budget.
Yeah. I don't know. If it would be a-
$3,000. So
but
$3,000 flight, the two of us.
Yeah.
We have $7,000 left, $1,000 to eat.
So, so hang on. We're not husband and wife, so I don't think we would enjoy the Ritz as much as you and your wife would. I don't see.
Hey,
all right.
I like expensive hotels.
Right, you do. Yes.
All right?
Yes. But I think when I travel, I like to kind of experience a little bit in the city.
If it was just boys, then
Yeah,
of course.
it's a boys
Yeah,
trip. You know, what else is it, right? Like it's a boys trip. So
If I have to sleep on the streets, we do it too.
we should have it. Oh man, have you heard of this? There's an Instagram account
Yeah.
called Shibuya Meltdown, and it's just people from Shibuya like drunk out of their
Oh
minds.
yes, yeah. That
All
happens
over-
a lot though.
I know,
in Japan.
but it's a Instagram
because
account.
they all drink at nighttime.
They all drink so much.
They party
Yeah,
so hard.
It's
Weekdays, too.
hilarious. Yeah.
Friday is like a gong show.
Yeah, apparently like going out with coworkers is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like as a work culture thing, it's a
Okay.
huge thing in Japan. So hilarious thing.
Yeah.
But anyways.
No, that's a
going
good
back to
idea.
it. But I think like a trip with your best friend, your significant other would be a great way to spend 10 grand, I think. Yeah.
That's a great idea. If you're financially stable.
If you're financially stable.
If you have debt,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
Invest it in yourself.
Right? And if you have no debt, but you haven't done your RRSPs or TFSA, put it in that. And then once you have that $3,000 you get back, then
Yeah.
you go use that $3,000 to spend on something. You can go on a nice trip in Mexico
$3,000, yes.
for $3,000. I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. Flights included.
Yeah, because it's only a couple $100.
Yeah.
Right? Or any local trip here, $3,000 goes a long way for
Mhm.
for a decent trip.
Yeah. A week
Right?
in Quebec City.
A cruise.
A cruise, sure. I've never done a cruise.
You never done a cruise?
Have you done a cruise?
I've done it one.
Okay.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't know why I haven't done it again,
Yeah.
or I've done more of it, but I really enjoyed it.
We should do a cruise.
And for 3,000,
Yeah.
2 people, I think,
Yeah.
get a deal inside room, inside room. You still get like a fake window,
Okay.
right? But I think $3,000. I think it's like $800 per person, and that's all inclusive. Like you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Food, everything. It's all done.
Yeah.
Just your drinks.
Yeah.
So yeah, invest. If you have no debt, you put 10,000 away.
Yeah.
You have $3,000 left.
Yeah.
You go on a cruise.
There you go.
It's another
Oh,
great
cruise.
idea.
Yeah. And that way you have more money down the road for when you retire too.
That's
you
it.
put
And
10,000
you have
away.
money, correct?
Yeah.
And you already put the 10,000 away. That's right.
Exactly.
That's also 7% interest compounding over
Exactly.
25, 30 years. Man, you have a nice chunk of money there too.
Exactly. I mean, with the rate of inflation going, we'll see. But
Correct, but hopefully
yeah,
that's the idea. Well, if you're not doing anything, that's even worse.
yeah, exactly.
If you have no money saved up,
Yeah, then you're kind of screwed.
that's even worse than
Yeah.
not putting $10,000 away,
Exactly.
because
Stop.
inflation is just going to eat you alive,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So you might as well save.
Yeah.
All right,
So 100K then. Moving on.
you want to go first on this one? 100K?
Nah, you go first.
You want me to first? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, 100K is a lot of money,
It is.
right? And 100K is a lot of money to a lot of people. That's what if we were right. The average annual income in Canada was 55.
So I looked it up. It's actually 60 now.
60. Okay,
Yeah.
but okay, 100K is almost double,
Yeah.
and that's 60.
Pre-tax.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what you take home is not 60.
No.
You're taking home 40,
40K. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Plus or minus, right?
Yep.
So 100K, taxes free.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2.5 years of your income,
Yeah.
almost. That's
a lot
good.
of money.
Like, what would you do with that? If I had 100K, again, going back to the $10,000, do all that first, right? The basics.
Yeah.
Do all that first with your 100K. And then, yeah, do you know what? Have some fun with the 100K because you won the lottery. You won 100K. Spend a little bit of money on a trip we just talked about.
Yep.
Right. So that'll be fun. But if somebody came up to me and says, "Hey, Ian, I have 100K, but I want to make money with it," so I'm gonna tackle the side of making money.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we make more money with 100K?
Sure.
I love buying real estate.
Yeah.
Now, real estate is also gone down, right?
Yeah, and there's like the vacancy.
Yeah, here in
tax
Ontario,
now.
stupid tax.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not Ontario.
All over Canada.
The city.
Yeah.
This is a city thing. It's
Yeah.
called the vacancy tax. Stupid thing. But real estate is an up and down. Right now, we're on a downturn,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's buying opportunities, yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't bought any real estate, but if I had $100,000, what I've been currently looking at is buying businesses, existing businesses that are well established,
Okay.
businesses that the owner is looking to retire. Those are
Okay.
the best.
Okay.
If you can find an owner that's looking to retire,
Yeah.
right? So they've built a business in the last 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's well established. It's
Yeah.
got a solid foundation, and there's an upside to it. If you understand a little bit. You don't have to be the best in that business, but if you know business, marketing, you can see an upside in it. That's the perfect business to buy. And one example I'll kind of give is laundry.
Sure. Laundromat.
Right? I think that business is so simple. Somebody owns a couple of laundry machines in a location.
Yeah.
It's been there for 10, 20 years, 30 years. It's usually established by university,
Right.
by an area where laundries are too tough to put into their apartments, so they have
Right.
laundromats,
Right.
right? And they've been there for a long time. Why wouldn't anybody buy that? It's a cash flow,
Yeah.
right? Huge cash flow,
Yeah.
right? And you strictly are buying the assets. So if the owner is selling it, you're strictly buying the assets or whatever that's there.
Yeah.
Your $100,000 will probably buy, 100, 200 machines, whatever that's in there, right? And then all you do is sit, and you have low expense. You have
Yeah.
cleaners, you have maintenance on the machines.
Right.
Other than that, that's it.
But
you go in and collect your money.
Right. And even those expenses, you already, being a cash heavy business, you have
it
cash
is.
flow, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
literal cash flow.
Correct. And you have cash flow the first day you start.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about it. Now, if you're good at marketing and stuff, you can put a little, you can advertise on
Mm-hmm.
your Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is. I mean, there's not much to do there, but if you could just drive a little bit more business to there, right? And anybody ever thought like laundry mat rooms, like stores?
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to do laundry? An hour? 2 hours?
Yeah. 2 hours max.
Hey, why hasn't anybody put a coffee shop in it?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Laundry and coffee. That should be a thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're already waiting there for an hour.
You may as well.
Or it doesn't have to be coffee. It could be a little bookstore, people rent, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that you can generate a little bit more revenue.
Yeah. Pair it up, right?
Pair it up.
Just buy a coffee machine
Correct.
and hire a dude.
Correct.
Or you go in yourself.
100%.
Yeah. That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
existing business. Other businesses that, could be landscaping. If you're not a landscaper, you can learn to become a landscaper.
Right.
Someone who's owned a landscaping business for many years. Right? It's well established. Here in Canada, snow removal companies.
Right.
They're huge, right? Now, one big business is always up for sale, and you'll find it pretty much every city you look at is restaurants. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I personally don't touch restaurants, and the reason is just their hours of work is Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Late
long
shifts,
hours,
long
yeah.
hours, and I'm not a cook. If I'm not good at something, if I don't know how to do it,
Yeah.
I
Especially if you
usually don't touch it.
right. And if you're not like mentally invested, you know what I mean? Like as
Correct.
in you're not, your heart's not in it,
Correct.
then you're not going to do well
No,
in any business, I think.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, another business that I recently looked at and I'm truly interested in is a kennel business. So for dogs or dogs and cats. Like boarding.
The grooming, is it?
Boarding.
Boarding.
So they care for dogs.
Okay,
during
cool.
The day
Yeah.
And overnight.
Yeah.
So it's like a hotel for dogs.
You know, that business is probably growing quite
It's huge.
rapidly now,
It's huge.
especially since COVID, like a lot of
Right.
people
And
adopted
people
pets.
Adopted pets. Now people want to go on vacation.
Right. They need to go back to work or whatever. And
Man, you're not dealing with people,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They check in, and they're low maintenance,
Yeah.
right? So, and they're charging. Kennels are charging. And then I started doing research on it. Like they're charging $45 to $60 a night.
Wow.
Do the
Yeah.
math,
Yeah.
right? You have 100 kennels,
Yeah.
right? And the kennel that I'm interested right now in has they have 80 kennels
Okay.
for dogs and cats.
Yeah.
And
How much space do you
They're-
need for that?
not much.
Really?
Honestly, I think square footage was 2,000 square feet.
That's nothing.
No, because a kennel is very small.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of your dog,
Right.
right? And they're charging $45 a night.
Wow.
And they're on and when I searched it up, so that's their upside. So when I say upside, is they're charging $45. They were actually the lowest in the city,
Oh wow.
right? So I can easily increase it to $50
Yeah.
a night.
Yeah. That's 80 times 50. Oh, sorry, 80 times 5.
Yeah.
Already.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Generating more cash flow.
Yeah.
Right? And their booking is 80% occupancy on a daily basis, almost.
Daily
On
basis.
average,
Holy.
yeah. And on weekends, they're fully booked.
Wow.
On weekends, they're fully booked.
That's crazy.
Okay? So,
It makes
another
sense.
business.
It makes sense.
For $100 grand, that's a lot of money. And I think there's a lot of business opportunities out there.
Yeah.
There's nothing against, sorry, I will mention there's nothing against on starting a new business,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I think starting one, there's a lot more risk to it, right? And you don't get that immediate, oftentimes you don't get the immediate cash flow that an existing business would get. Yeah.
There's more risk, but if you're confident in what you do, if you're a hairstylist, you want to start your own hair
Right.
salon, you got to build your own clientele unless you already have a clientele.
Right.
But if you bought an existing hair salon,
Oh,
and
people's
you're a
already.
hairstylist,
Exactly.
people are already going in.
Yeah.
They may hopefully buy one that has good reputation.
Yeah.
So then if you're good at what you're doing, you buy that business,
Yeah.
you're just going to bring it up to another level.
Yeah.
Right?
And nowadays you can do so much more research with these businesses. Like you can see prior to when you came in.
Yep.
You can see what they've been doing. You know,
Google
there's so
reviews.
much. Yeah, exactly. So much stuff that you can do
Yes,
to research a business now. So
correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, 100 grand.
yeah.
For me, somebody says 100 grand.
Yeah.
I say, hey, you want to go into business together? Let's find something that that we can buy.
Yeah.
Especially something that's existing.
Yeah.
If it's a startup, there's a lot more things that I want to look at. But if it's an existing business, let's just look at their financial statements.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there's an upside.
Yeah.
And let's go from there.
Just see
that's
if it's
where-
stable, right?
yes,
Like
that's
the-
where I would
Mhm.
invest in.
Mhm.
And see the trend. Right?
That's
Like
cool.
what's the next 5
Yeah.
years and 10-year projection on that existing business.
Right. Right.
That's what about
Interesting.
you? If you had 100,000
Okay.
extra cash,
Yeah.
Tooth Fairy is really, really good this year.
Oh man.
Throw you 100 grand.
Okay.
What you gonna do?
I think, like you said, that's 10 times more than, you know,
That's-
how long
If
does
you're
it?
taking another trip, I better be going to.
We're going to the moon. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait, the moon.
Well-
How much is Elon Musk charging for the moon now?
Was it like 100 million or something?
Oh, okay, I didn't think so.
Was it not? Do you remember
Oh, sorry, to the
blue?
moon. Sorry, that's right. But I'm thinking. Sorry, I was thinking.
Oh, you
just
think they're
space.
going to space?
I think it
Yeah.
was like 400 grand, right? 400 grand per person, just to go to.
I think
space
it's more
for a
than
couple
that.
minutes.
No. Blue Origins. You remember that? The Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos, they
Yes.
lifted off. Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was in the millions.
I don't think 100 grand, $100,000.
Oh no, that's not going to cover it.
Even just a space.
I think actually, I wonder if they have. They have planes that fly just to the edge, so you get that zero gravity feeling
for a couple minutes.
For a couple minutes, yeah.
I don't know how much
You could probably do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Never looked. I don't think I would personally do it though. For a couple minutes of
I
zero
just
gravity.
try out my Omega watch. Make sure it still works up there. It's zero gravity.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I have warranty. I can go claim.
Yeah, but are you wearing it?
No, I'm not wearing
it. Come on, man. No, but I think 100K. Okay, so you know what? You're talking about this trip thing. How about this? 100K. We take. Let's see. 60,000.
Again, in the same scenario.
Yeah, same scenario where you're financially perfectly stable.
Yes.
You just got an influx of $100,000, and you're thinking, "What do I do with this money?"
Yeah.
You don't need to invest it. Yeah. You don't need it to make money. You just want to use it in a meaningful way. Many different things, right? First of all, you can donate to charity, of course.
Get a tax receipt.
Get a tax receipt. There you go. Put that towards your income. And then you can, you can get probably a lot of taxes back for that. Really?
Peanuts.
Oh man. What was I gonna say? So take the 60.
Yeah.
Buy yourself some car that has hit the bottom of the depreciation curve and is on the way up.
Like that car was originally like 100 and 100.
Exactly. Like for example.
What would it be? 60 grand.
For example, a V8 M3.
Oh, okay. All right.
A V8 M3. The E90 Gen.
Oh, okay.
The E90 Gen, the V8 M3. That's a car that's hit the bottom.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to go down anymore because people are, the way the trend is nowadays, those cars are starting to hold value, if not starting to creep up a little bit. Get one of those cars, and then we go on a trip. Okay.
And you're not blowing your 60 grand.
No.
Car.
And that's a tangible asset, right?
Yeah.
That's a tangible asset. Like obviously you have to maintain it.
Yeah. Which costs.
Which will cost money.
At least you're not throwing it in a brand new car, 60 grand. And then
right. And you drive it off the lot, and it's 20% off, in terms of depreciation, right? So
that's the best way to do it.
I think that would be a good way to do it. Or any older 911, okay. Pre-2010 is under 100K. Then there's no trip. Well, like a Carrera. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Oh. You take the trip in the car. You spend the next 30K, 40K that's left, and go on a big road trip. Yeah. I think that'd be fun.
That's a good idea.
That'd be fun. Yeah. And then there's also things you can do, like watches. You could buy a very, very nice watch.
Yes.
Or if not two, right, for that money. You can pay somebody off.
A lot of nice watches for that money.
Yeah, you can pay somebody off at Rolex, give them $5,000, buy a Daytona at MSRP plus $5,000, and you'll still make another like 10 grand on top of that.
There you go.
If you sell that watch, right?
Yeah.
But there's a ton of stuff that you can get. There's a lot of in the world of watchmaking. There's or watch collecting.
Yeah.
There's brands now that are called independents. They're not mainstream brands, but they're actual like brands that are operated, typically started by one watchmaker, and then he'll start making his own watch, very low volume, typically long wait lists. Like we're talking like
brand that's from China. You showed me the video with the nice style.
Yeah. Atelier Wen.
Atelier Wen.
So
are you referring to something
like that?
Yes,
something like that.
Okay, you can definitely. With that money, you can have a lot more than Atelier Wen, right? So
a lot more nicer watches.
Exactly. There are brands such as FP Journe. Yeah. And there's some Japanese independent brands as well. But
Rolex.
We should do another episode on watches specifically.
Yes, and we will.
Yeah.
That's another topic. Watches and cars.
Yeah.
What type of cars we've owned in the past.
Exactly. That would be fun too. Yeah.
My list is too long. Yeah. But we could go through all that.
We should. Yeah.
Yep.
But that's pretty much it. With our 10K and 100K.
That's a good chunk of money. We could do $1 million, but at $1 million, it's a whole other level.
Oh yeah.
And might as well retire.
Yeah.
But 10K, 100K.
Yeah.
two great ideas. You know, one is financially making sure you're paying off your debt.
Yeah, I think that's number one.
That's number one. I mean, I think that number one rule.
Yeah.
Do that first.
Yeah.
Invest. If you're not financially stable, invest it. Even if you have no debt, invest it so you can make more
Yeah.
money with it.
Yeah.
If you are stable,
Like set yourself up for.
set yourself up for the future.
Yeah.
So you can have
Yeah.
everything that Dan was mentioning,
Yes.
right? And then if you are already in that financial freedom, then
Enjoy it.
enjoy it, like what you mentioned.
Yeah.
But buy things that don't lose too much money.
Like an M3 wagon.
No. An RAV8.
Alright,
Cheapest. A better.
Well, I don't know about better. That 4.2 is not the most reliable thing. I mean, neither is the BMW, but
Yeah, come on, let's be real.
BMW is better as a brand.
Okay, yes. You're right. It's just the RA. Like BMW never made
Yeah,
it.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. We'll save this discussion.
That's another day.
For another day.
That's another
Yeah.
car argument day.
Yeah,
But-
but I think we've hit some good points,
Yeah.
like meaningful, responsible ways
Yes.
of spending 10
and 100.
Yeah, yeah. If you have any ideas, add it to the comments.
Yes.
Let us
please.
know. That would be awesome too. And if you have any business ideas,
Let us know.
let us know.
Add in the
there's
comments. We love to chat.
things to be done together, perhaps.
And if you have financial questions,
Mhm.
if we can help, we love to.
Yeah. I mean, we're not professionals.
We're not. No, hell no.
We're
We
not.
made some good and bad decisions in our life.
Yes.
For my lifetime, for sure, and Daniel probably too. But
Yeah.
if we can, we can give our input.
Yeah.
We love to help,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
On that note, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
Have a great one.